were there
That's
on
what you
that
told me.
deal. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I walked in through the glass man, said hi.
And
You said something to me that was probably mean, so then I just went over and
oh,
talked
okay.
to
Probably so. That's
Braylon.
kind of
Is that
the MO.
par
you
for
know.
the course?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what happens.
So make sure. Well, big weekend.
Yeah, I'm to be honest, it's exciting. It's exciting for us. It's exciting for fans, racers, everyone. It's a big pill to swallow early on in the year. My wife and I were on the way out here tonight. We were talking about it, and we were like, it's kind of crazy that the first race of the year is this race. On one hand, on the other hand, it's also kind of nice to get this big race out of the gate. I hate to say to get it over, but
Right.
it's taxing to get the facility in order. It's taxing for the concession and the kitchen and all the workers and everybody that helps us get this place in order. And to do it this early is it's kind of crazy, but I think it's also kind of relieving in a sense.
Well, back in the day with the Hall family, they always kicked the year off with a sprint car race.
Yeah.
Always had a great sprint car race. So that's nice to, get that again. Of course, they did it with a 360 cars, but we're
Yeah.
going to do it with the Outlaws.
Yeah, that what they did. As a kid, I was out here every. I was always around Easter. I just remember it always being close to Easter and seeing that deal. And I think they ended up calling it the Air Capital at one point as well.
Yep.
So yeah, it's really cool. And no matter what I say, it's a sprint car city.
Yeah, it is.
It always has been. Always probably will be. Park City, Wichita, and the surrounding areas around here. People love their sprint cars, and why not kick it off with the World of Outlaws?
Well, it's going to be a great show, of course, this year. Not going to do it for the Jason Johnson Memorial.
Yeah.
They moved that to our friends down at Arrowhead.
Yeah, Bryce and those guys down there taking that thing this year, and it sounds like they're going to kind of move it around here and there.
That's kind of what Bobby had said. She wants to move it around to a couple and not make it
which is really cool.
Which is awesome.
You listen, we were honored to do it last year,
Absolutely.
and I think it turned out wonderful, and we had such a great time, and we're looking forward to this race. I think there's a lot of questions out there about things that we're going to clear up here shortly. But just if you're a pure race fan, you got to come watch these guys.
Oh, it happens in an absolute split second.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was here one year when the Outlaws were here, Donnie Schatz, I believe that was 2015, 2016 when Donnie Schatz, they went 40 laps green flag. It happened in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so fast, like, because I was part of helping a buddy with a support class. Well, we're trying to get the car ready,
and you're like, no time.
Hey, let's go. And I'm like, well, they got 40 laps, and they're like, no, he'd already did the wing dance. They gave him the trophy. He's cashed a check. Like, we got to roll out. We're like, oh wow, okay, chill, okay, get our stuff. Let's get rolling here. So it does happen very, very fast.
Yeah, Hollywood and myself were talking about the difference in levels of driver, which is not a bad thing. Everybody starts at their local racetrack. Everybody starts in a lower class and moves up. But when you're at the level of the World of Outlaws, you can't make mistakes. We were just talking about how a driver has to be consistent for those 40 or 50 laps, whatever they run that evening. And being a 10th off, one lap isn't a huge deal, but if you do it more than a couple of times, you're losing a lot of spots in the World of Outlaws.
Well, like you said, they're just a bunch of vultures just ready to pounce on you because they're all right there.
And the time that they can make up when somebody makes a mistake in front of them is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So just watching the guys, it's a cool thing to see if you haven't seen it, to see a professional put a car where he wants it in a split second.
I remember last year during the Jason Johnson Classic, we weren't even through qualifying. You come down to the infield and you go, how come you guys didn't warn me? And I said, what do you mean? You were like, this is nuts. Look how many people are here. Like, we ran out of beer. We sent people to get beer. You're like,
our first year.
How come you were kind of upset? You're like, how come no one warned me? We're like, of course, dude, where have you been?
I'll never, probably still the toughest night I've had was opening night with the All-Star Circuit of Sprint Cars with Tony Stewart's group that first year. We got our asses handed to us. And it felt like it.
Yeah.
And if anyone knows me, I'm a competitor. I do not like to lose. It's just, me.
Uh-huh.
I don't care if it's a foot race, a basketball game, whatever. I'm not a really good loser. And I felt like we got our tails whooped that night. And, I just didn't take it that well. So, yeah, it was a tough one. we were underprepared, understaffed, under-prepped, anything you could imagine. I felt like on the inside, it felt like everything went wrong. But then a couple weeks removed, really wasn't near as bad as
Right.
I made it feel. And we learned that, and I think that's a good thing. I think that all of the staff here wants to be better.
Right.
We want to do better and be better.
It hurts in the moment taking the beating,
Oh,
but then when you look back, you're like, that wasn't that bad. That
uh,
actually went pretty good.
I was grabbing people that just people that were fans and saying, "Hey, I need you,"
Right.
friends that'd be walking by. I'm like calling Tyler. I called Tyler Davis. I said, "Get your truck and go get some beer. We're out. I don't care. Go."
Well, we had friends just drinking in Tyrod Tavern, and I was walking through. You were walking through, like, can I please help you?
Yeah.
You're like, crap. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jump
come on.
back there and get some beer. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Flip
yeah.
some burgers, whatever.
That might have been the race. Tim Echeverria was
Yeah,
in there, and
Chevrolet jumped behind the
he
bar.
jumped behind the bar for us,
Yeah.
and he had a buddy help him, and I was just like, that's what this racing community is about. That's what this FOE is about. That's what we do here, and that's what I hope separates us from any other racetrack you go to.
Well, we're fixing to do it 28 times this year, just not 8 times. So that's going to be a good one. We've got a lot to learn. So from the last Outlaw experience to this one, did take some notes. Did you kind of go over some stuff, or
Well, they got
how
a
you
new
feeling?
they've got a new race director.
They did. I saw that.
So he went on to something different, and I think that's going to change some stuff on how things are handled on track prep and those things. It's always different, but we want to do the best thing we can to give the fans the best show we can. It is an entertainment sport, entertainment venue, so giving them the best track to race on, so that it's a great show is our number one priority.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that's going to be priority one, and then two, making sure that the facility's ready as far as the concession, the beer. We got an extra beer trailer showing up tomorrow. We've got plenty of beer. We're not going to run out. We're not going to run out of food.
Yep.
I do have the artichoke coming in.
Awesome.
Artichoke coming in with their
love the
food truck.
sandwiches.
Oh, the sandwiches. Nancy's Famous, I think it's called. That's their famous number. I can't remember the number.
Number 7.
I think that sounds right.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I was going to say 8.
Great group. They've been here a couple times.
Been here a couple times,
great.
and we're really excited to have them back. This whole concourse area is a different environment during this show.
You kind of like when you walk out here and there's nothing here, you're like, this is not that big. And then when the Outlaws show up and we pack 20 merchandise trailers and beer trailers and whatever, you're like, holy moly.
yeah. That's just icing on the cake. What the World Outlaws do there is when they bring those folks in, and just gives the fans that total experience of walking through. I mean, just the history of the drivers, all the different shirts and different souvenirs that you can get are really cool. And not to mention our 81 Speedway apparel will be on sale this weekend for the first time. Brand new stuff. I debuted it a couple weeks ago with you right here on the show. Really excited about that as well.
Yeah, Skyline got the display case fixed up a couple weeks ago, so it's going to be ready to go. She did an awesome job on that. Lots of new merchandise for 81 Speedway and Humboldt Speedway, as well as everything is going to get over there. Nancy's number 8. Someone.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Well, you're of course, our fearless leader Katie was making you a list as I was walking in today. So there it is.
It's just basically the same information that you've posted relentlessly. But I don't know if most people know, but I answer a majority or maybe all of the phone calls. It
Speedway.
seems. I say Speedway. That's just for history. I thank C. Ray and Warren and those guys, Melissa, for doing that, because that's how they answered it. So I felt I should keep that going. So, opening night again. Pit gates open at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
So
pit.
just to clarify, you can't buy your pit pass in advance because you have to sign a waiver. At 2 p.m. on Saturday, if you want a pit pass, roll on in, get you one. You don't have to stick around, obviously. You can come back, but when you get back, you don't have to wait anymore.
The Woo trailer will be
out there.
So our pit gate not going to be active. You'll have to go to the Woo trailer.
The Woo trailer will be sitting right in front of our pit shack. If you just lost something there, Andy. I don't know if the folks can hear us. But this went completely dead on us.
Yeah, dude.
So that any better?
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. So So I think they'll go to the Woo trailer right there at the south entrance to
Mhm.
the pits, sign that waiver, and get your pit pass. Go on in. What we're not letting you do is in the grandstand area. You can't go get a pit pass and put your seats and
Right.
blankets down. It's just not fair for the folks that didn't do so.
Right.
We got to keep it somewhat fair, and that's
Well,
what we plan to do.
they bought a reserve ticket for a reason.
Yeah, right, exactly. So the second thing is we have 1,000 seat grandstand in the pit area.
Mhm.
So if you want
Beautiful
a
over there.
cool perspective, it's just completely different perspective than sitting in the regular grandstand area. Watching the cars kind of come right at you at turn two,
Mhm.
and then make their way down the fastest part of the racetrack down that back straightaway. That's a really cool seat.
My brother-in-law, he bought a pit side party spot,
Last time,
I think number 2 or 3,
okay.
and they were in a truck. They were like perfect level. He was like, "Dude, they're coming right at you at it. Like I'll never watch another race from a different perspective. It's right there."
That's next on my list. There's 20 of those
That's right.
pit stalls available. Those are also first come, first serve at the pit shack or at the Woo trailer at 2 p.m. Okay. You don't have to keep your truck there from 2 to 7 before the races start.
Because you'll get
I'd
a
park
placard.
something. You'll get a placard. We only got 20 of them made. And once they're gone, they're gone. You can, put a bicycle there, a truck or car if you want, and,
Mhm.
or nothing. You'll still have a spot when you get back because there's only
Right.
20 spots and 20 placards. May just not be the spot you want.
Right.
So those go on sale at 2 o'clock as well. Now, if you don't have your tickets, you can go to World Outlaws right now,
Mhm.
worldoutlaws.com, click on buy Saturday on the 81 Speedway schedule.
Mhm.
Takes you to MVP tickets.
MVP
Yep.
tickets.
And you're going to click on that. Probably at this point, the general admission is what's going to be left.
I we we haven't not looked. We have
I,
not looked at what's for reserve, but I'm going to assume the way it went last time, they're gone.
I'm going to take, I will say the same then. I will say the same. So just go to there, click on your general admission. You can get those emailed right to you. You can print them. No need to go to will call then. Bring
Mhm.
your printed ticket to the gate. They'll scan it when you
Mhm.
come in. That validates the ticket and you're on to the races.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
Now,
You're here.
if you bought tickets and chose will call, you will be waiting until 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock is when will call opens. 5 o'clock is when the ticket gate opens.
Mhm.
Okay. So you'll go to the
Another Woo trailer.
another Woo trailer. You're going to go north. They actually last time kind of used our spot too. So double check that. They may actually be in our ticket booth.
And I'll be here early and they'll be set up. So we'll get some videos
Yep.
out. We'll go live a few times. We'll get some information out for you that maybe can't get here until 4:30 or 4
Yeah.
o'clock or something like that. So we'll have a lot of information out day of race.
No outside food or drink like always
Like normal.
at any event you go to anymore.
Mhm.
And obviously bags are subject to search as any other
Mhm.
venue you'd go to. I got lots of different beers on tap, lots of canned beer. What are those Cayman Jack margaritas?
Cayman Jack
All
margaritas.
that stuff right here for sale. Of course, Jack's Place,
Mhm.
named after, of course, Jack Lamb, and just lots of stuff. Got some new stuff over there to
Mhm.
serve this year. So we're looking forward to it. I think this race is, why not start it off with a bang, right?
It's going to be a big one. Of course, also going to start it off for our weekly championship point series for our
It
TM
is.
Fencing LLC Super Stocks and our JLR Property Management 316 mod.
Yeah,
So,
registrations have really been coming in heavy on
yeah.
that 316 mod class, and a few on the super stocks. Looking forward to that. Obviously, the rule for you drivers, any clarification there, there is no limitation to who can race this first 316 race because
There's no points.
there's no points currently.
Right.
So the rules that are applied later would be if there's a USRA A mod race and you're in the top 10 in points, you can't be in 316 mods.
Right.
That does not apply to this race.
Right. Yeah. And there's been some questions about, hey, can we race? Can we race? Of course you can.
Yeah.
We're not, everyone can race the modified race right now because, like you said, we haven't established points for our
Absolutely.
USRA cars. So
Absolutely.
once that does happen, the top 10 is ineligible for the 316 mods after
100%. So currently, if you want to race that race, there's two things you need to do. Okay. Number one, register.
Mm-hmm.
If you come to the pit shack window or the Woo trailer window and there's 50 people in line and you get to the front after you waited 30 minutes and you're not registered, you're going straight to the back of the line until the line is clear.
It's probably a stern talking to and then to the back.
Well, and it isn't that we don't want to take care of you. We do. You're important to us. It's that you know how to register typically. If you need help, that's obviously what we're going to do is take that time and get you helped when we can get that line down.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any way, or if you have a question on registration, call the Speedway anytime, especially when I'm not on the radio.
Especially when you're not on the radio. It's been going like crazy over there.
We will,
we will. An assistant?
We'll be able to kind of walk you through it.
Yep.
Yeah, no problem with that. If you do show up, there's a $20 penalty, or I think it's 20. She didn't put that on here. Oh, it is. I think it's $20 if we have to register you at the window. So
$20.
Otherwise, it's free. There's no cost to it.
Don't spend the extra 20.
And you have to register in that class. If you're a USRA modified and you registered for the alternative pest management modifieds, that don't work. You have to register for JLR property management 316 mods.
Race.
That's absolutely correct.
So it would have been just easy to sit there on the couch one night, register for both classes, and if it doesn't work out for one, then you're good for the other one.
Well, I love this guy, so I can say it, but hey, a good friend of ours, Joel Hill, I think he registered for every division out there, from mini stocks to super. I think every class. Fine.
It was free.
It's free.
It's It's like, yeah. What are you going to do? You one weekend you might run
and
what stock. The next weekend someone might put you in their A mod.
And to clarify what that does, when you check in, that's what we have to pull up. And if it's not in there, it's just not like clicking a button. It's a little bit harder. It's name, address, phone number, emergency contact, car number, transport.
Right.
It's a lot more than just that. That's why it's difficult.
Right.
And once you're registered, you don't ever have to do it again.
Right.
Till next year.
One time.
Once a year.
You're good. We also need to remind everyone to get onto the Facebook page, go to the QR code, and get your personal car and car owner information done. That way, John Lowry, myself, Jeremy Heim, if he has to cue in, we're here to help you with your marketing partners.
Yeah.
You got to tell us what chassis you have, who builds your engines, who does your bodies. Put all your sponsor information in there, and we'll be good for you.
Yeah, we always want to help prop up our drivers. We think we have some of the greatest drivers, not alone just in the Midwest, but in the country and all of our divisions. And we want to make you look better. And we're live streamed every week, guys. Even this week we're going to be on Dirt Vision. From then on, every race is either going to be on Race and Dirt, a couple here and there, traveling series on other live streaming services. But what a better way to promote yourself than to get your information out there live on the microphone.
Right. But like I said, when the High Limit Series comes into town in May, they'll be on Flow Racing.
That's absolutely right.
But how many millions of registered users do they have for their streaming? They're going to hear your car, your name, your car owner, your number, your sponsors. It's all right there.
And we all understand. We all been there. Racing's tough anyway without sponsorships, and you got to take care of those sponsors. And it's important that you get them listed so that we can talk about them. So
absolutely.
It's just like this. We don't do this show without Automatic and Uhlik.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
Wouldn't have a real studio if we didn't have those sponsors.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep. So we're looking forward to all the employees to come out and work this weekend, and the few volunteers that we do have coming out to give their time and talent to us.
Absolutely.
We really look forward to that, and we're going to be out there. We're out there right now on the grader.
Yeah, John was actually on around the track with Melissa Powers and Warren Hardy and C. Ray Hall, and
really,
he said, "Okay, I'm going to paint the wall. See you later."
Yeah,
so
we
GM John Allen's out there painting the wall right now.
Yeah, we freshened the wall a couple times, at least a year, and it was in need.
It was in need of it,
and we wanted to do it way earlier, but the weather has not been real cooperative here this winter. It's kind of been crappy.
It's been fighting back on us.
So we're out there doing it right now, and we're going to jump on our own equipment and fill up our own fuel, and we're going to go to town and get this track ready.
Yeah, we're going to get it going. Someone wants to know if you're feeling generous. Dirty 30 rule for the 316 mods this first race.
Listen, this is going to sound negative. We're going to have more than 30 cars. There's no 100%. Dirty 30 rule for that class. The class was not designed to be that class. It ended up working out that way for this one race. We're looking forward to that race to be exciting. If anything, I would just tell every driver that's in that race, give each other a little bit of room. We're racing on a national profile right here. Everybody's watching.
I think we got a caller.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Is this Gio Scelzi?
Is this
Gio? Yep, that's me.
How we doing, guys? We're doing great. How are you?
Good. Very good.
Well, good. You're on the phone line. I'm Andy Clark. You're on the other ends. J.R. Sartain, of course, president of FOE Enterprises here for 81 Speedway.
I know Gio a little bit. We talk here and there, so I couldn't ask for a better guest than Gio Scelzi. He's class act. I'll just speak for myself. He's one of the guys that I absolutely look forward to coming to 81 Speedway every single year. He goes out of his way to talk and just unbelievable character and hell, he's the point leader right now. What else could you ask for?
I'll say current points leader at the top of the heap on this one. How's that feel?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. I mean, I'd hate to count your chickens before they hatch, but it's cool to be fast this early in the season. You can definitely dig yourself a hole and get yourself damn near out of the points, early in the year. But we've done a great job. My guys have done an amazing job with the car, not making mistakes and giving me a good race car every single night. So, like I said, nice to make your life a bit easier when you can start off the year strong and be consistent.
You guys are getting ready to attack believe Thunderbird Speedway tomorrow night. So where are you in the country right now?
Yeah, so one of our sponsors, Eric Carmen and Renee Carmen Trucking, they were nice enough to let us stay at their house here in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Nice.
Spent some time with Doug Schoenfeld, Mark Braley. They've been awesome hosts for us. It's nice to not be staying in a hotel room. They've opened their house to us. It's been great. Played some golf today, so obviously been working really hard. Halfway on vacation, but no, it's nice to be, like I said, not in a hotel room and be with some people in their house.
Well, you got to get a workout. You got to get a workout in on your day off.
Absolutely, man. No doubt. No, but I'm excited for Friday. Friday's a big half mile. I don't know if the Outlaws have ever been there, and obviously 81 Speedway. Saturday's an awesome racetrack. Last year we're unlucky with the wind and the weather, but we'll be good to go this year.
Yeah, I think so too. We're really excited to have you guys back, and I'm anxious to see Thunderbird too, because that they call that thing a half mile. I'm gonna go ahead and just say it looks like 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah, it might be a half around the bottom.
I don't know. You would know way better than me, Gio. At that big of a track, is it 120 mile an hour at the end of the straightaway, or how fast you think you'll be going?
Man, it's hard to say. They really don't like telling us our top speed. They'll tell us our average speed. Right. And I believe Knoxville, we're probably around 120 average.
Well, it's bigger than Knoxville.
140 maybe in the straightaways. But no, it's looks like an old fairgrounds racetrack, which sometimes creates some of the best racing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to watch that race the night before here at 81 Speedway. And it's a funny story about Gio. About a year ago, a family calls me, I think out of Marion, Kansas, and asked me some questions about being on the VIP list and this and that. And I was like, come on, man. He says, no, I'm cousins with Gio. And I was like, yeah, okay. So Gio gets here and I ask him about it. He goes, yeah, that's my cousin. And I was like, damn it.
Man, you about turned down the cousin. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. So he's got some family.
Funny, so they were all so excited to go. And I believe there was like 8 or 9 of them coming. So I got them all pit passes. And shortly after they canceled the race. So I called my cousin Roger. I was like, hey, you better turn around and go home. And he's like, I'm not turning around. I'm like, well, the races are canceled. He's like, I don't care. We're coming to hang out with you. So it was cool. I got to stay at their house. Like, they were from Fresno originally, where I'm from, and now they live in Marion, Kansas. So it was great as shitty as it was canceling the races, it was nice to be able to spend time with them.
Well, and even after the decision was made to postpone the race, you guys still hung out for a couple hours, sold some T-shirts, hung out, talked to, signed some autographs. So there was still some fan interaction that happened on that night.
Gio was one of the guys that after that, obviously I felt I didn't feel great at all, to be fair. And Gio was one of the guys that, I really felt was like, man, this sucks. And it didn't just suck that he couldn't race. It sucked. He knew for the fans. Right. It sucked that he knew for the racetrack. He knows what this does to the local economy and for the fans. And that's just a true patriarch of the sport. I just respect him for that. And we just look forward to him coming back. And he's got that Kansas connection and sitting right here has a little Kansas flair to it. And
I wondered how long it was going to take you to bring that up.
Love to see his name on the trophy that's on my left right now.
So you can't see it because you're not on the video, but in between us is the trophy that we had made for Saturday night's race here at 81 Speedway, and it's good looking.
Well, thank you guys. No, for sure. I mean, you look at the World of Outlaws shows, and those are your guys' best races of the year, really. I mean, you pay so much for the sanction fee, so much for the purse. I mean, it has to be a home run for you guys. The weather has to cooperate. And this early in the year, end of March, it's a toss-up. Luckily, it's warm enough where the weather's good and hopefully the wind stays away. But your guys' local shows, I'm not speaking for you guys, but probably don't make a whole lot of money. The Outlaw shows are where you guys hit home runs, like I said. So hopefully these races can be good. You get a lot of people in the stands, and when something like that comes up where it does cancel, we have to do our part and make sure that fans that do come and spend their money on the tickets be able to get some kind of experience, at least shake our hands, take a picture, do something with us, because they really only get to see us one time a year.
Right.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I believe this is the only stop in Kansas for the
Right.
World of Outlaws this
Yep.
year is right here at 81
Yep.
Speedway. So it does mean a lot to the fans. And I can just tell you this, Gio, you're going to see a packed house when you come off of turn 4 this Saturday night. I don't know for sure, but this could set at least an FOE Enterprises record based on the phone calls and the
I
ticket
think
sales
so.
that I know about and the weather being at 74 degrees.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, and you're going to be able to look up and see not a gap in the stands.
That's right.
Good deal. I mean, and you have a couple non-outlaws. I mean, I know Rico Abreu's going to come. So along with the outlaws, you got a couple non-outlaws that are awesome racers.
Yeah, that's we're just so looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. Our support classes are strong, and we're just really excited to get you guys back out here.
Of course, last year in April for the Jason Johnson Classic, Rico was the winner. So kind of the defending race winner
Yeah,
for
I
the
guess you could
Outlaws.
call.
Really,
I guess you could call
it
him that, and
So,
yeah. So I was unaware that he was going to maybe make the trip there. So that's really cool to see him, and I'm just excited again, man. Is there who gets you down the road? Everyone thinks that these guys they got so much money in the Outlaws, but it still takes an army of people and sponsors and support.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, all of our sponsors are typically based around the Des Moines area where our home is. Like I said, Carmen Trucking opened our house. Eric and Renee Carmen to us. They're down in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Aspen Air. Like I said, a lot of them are local. 515 Realty. Schoenfeld Headers. There are so many guys that help us. Logan Contractor Supply. We have such a big reach. I feel like us racing nationally gets a lot of those names out there on a national scale.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Well, I know it just it's really cool to get those local guys that notoriety, and I hope you're holding that trophy in the check at the end of Saturday.
I hope so too. Well, thank you guys.
Hey, before you go, if you got some more time, I'd like to go over some stuff with you. Second year on the tour, so kind of give yourself and your team a scorecard for 2023. How do you think it went opposed to your expectations, and what did you learn going into 2024?
Man, that's a great question. I feel like last year running fourth in points, we started off struggling. I had won a handful of outlaw shows before I went full time, which I felt like it was the right time to go out on the road. I don't know. I think my guys, my team's done an incredible job. I feel like we've learned from our engine package and really honed in on our package. We have, like I said, motors are such a huge part. That's why they call it motorsports. Adam Clark's done an incredible job. We had a new guy this year. Bob Curtis is our car chief, and he's fit in the race team seamlessly. So, it's cool to see all of their hard work really kind of play out and see that the time they put in really matter.
Another thing is, of course, the Scelzi name synonymous with drag racing. How does that conversation go with your dad when you want to go dirt racing?
My dad's idea was, hey, if you guys want to drag race, you can, but with drag racing, there's really nothing you can do at a young age. So, with dirt racing, you can race go-karts, micro sprints, junior sprints, outlaw karts, all kinds of stuff. But with drag racing, there's really nothing you can do. That's why all those guys started so late in life. So his idea was, hey, if you guys want to, drag race eventually, you can transition back over when you turn 16, 17, 18 years old. But man, I love drag racing. I love watching it, but I have no desire to get behind the wheel of a 12,000 horsepower drag car. What's cool about you guys as well is not far from you, they're opening I-70 Motorsports Park that they have a dirt track out already, and they're going to have a drag strip there with top fuel cars. So, like I said, I keep up with the sport. Austin Prock is a great friend of mine that drag races full time. So, probably I'm going to say tied or almost my second favorite motorsport for sure.
There you go. Well, this year's been quite impressive. No finishes outside of the top 10. The worst one was a 10th place. You picked up a win. You're kind of on a good little streak this year.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. I feel like Kennedale was really kind of where we struggled a bit, didn't qualify good, and we made every dash up to that point. So making those dashes are crucial, getting yourself that extra 6 laps to figure out the race car and get yourself a bit faster. So our year's been awesome so far, and hope to keep it going.
Kind of looking at some of your career highlights, going through everything, got a driller sitting somewhere either in the shop or on the mantle. How does having that golden driller from the shootout compare to, some of the other trophies that you have?
Yeah, man, I think I was 11 years old, I believe. So definitely it's in my home back in Fresno, California, my parents' house. So, that's when it definitely ranks up, especially when you're that young of an age. So Tulsa, gives out 7 or 8 of them throughout their classes throughout the year. And as tough as that race is to win, with 200-300 entries in each class, like they get it's really cool. I'd like to give me a Chili Bowl one at some point, but that's down the road.
kind of looking forward to the rest of the year. You guys are only about 8 races in. I think 8 different winners on the Outlaw Tour. What's some tracks that you kind of circle and highlight, and you look forward to going there? And then what's some tracks that you're like, okay, we can do better. We didn't have a good run, but this is my wheelhouse, and I'm gonna get this one done.
Knoxville for sure. Even just the 2-night Outlaw shows they have there in April and June, and the Nationals in August is definitely one you want to win. Had success at Williams Grove early in my career, and have struggled there the last 3-4 years. Haven't been really up much in the top 5, so that's one I really want to run better at. I know Adam's put a lot of time in to get our race car better there, but Knoxville for sure. It's hard to say anywhere else. Eldora is cool. Any racetrack, I feel like the facilities have done such a better job on getting us 2 lanes of racing. I mean, anywhere nowadays can create a good race. I mean, the racing at Cotton Bowl was awesome. Only 22 race cars, but the surface was great. Wichita has the potential to put on great races, like Knoxville and Eldora and these pinnacle racetracks. So anytime they can get us 2 lanes of racing, I'm not going to complain too much.
Yeah, when cars 2-3 wide and then racing around there, that's always, as a fan, you always want to see that. And sometimes being around the racetrack more intimately, sometimes it's just out of your control. Dirt is a very weird entity.
Well, we talked about the wind last year, and wind and sun and those things all play such a role in how the track's going to turn out. But I think we got a pretty good handle on it. We've done a lot of work here in the last several weeks, and of course through some practices, and track held up really well. And we're just really looking forward to it. And I hope we give you at least 2 lanes to race on. And I'm just pumped to get you guys here.
Definitely. And I mean, with that too, a lot of these local racetracks that don't run sprint cars weekly make it tougher because they have modifieds and stock cars on the racetrack, and sprint cars treat the dirt a whole lot differently than modifieds do. So, you guys have put so much work in the facility since we were there. I believe it was your first year promoting in 2020. I believe the All-Star race. So, you guys have come a long way from the facility to the surface and everything. So I'm happy to go back.
When you kind of look at, when you kind of show up to a place and you take a look, what are you looking for in a track? Are you paying attention to the banking? Are you seeing how they watered it? When you guys, I see a lot of drivers come up to the, here we have turn 2 and turn 4 when you can get onto the racetrack. When you walk up there, what are you guys looking at in a racetrack?
There's some tracks I've raced 40 races at. There's some tracks I've raced no races at. So in the end, they're all round and they're all dirt. So they do have their similarities. And normally when you got a package that works, you can almost run the same setup everywhere you go, no matter if it's Wichita, Cannondale, Cotton Bowl, Knoxville, Volusia. They're all completely different racetracks. But once you get a package that works with your race car, it really stays pretty similar. So then it just depends. Like when you go to a racetrack, very well, you can pick out, very, very slight differences from weekend to weekend. But, a place like Wichita, I feel like the wind is a huge factor. When you get cars on the racetrack is a huge factor, whether the sun's out, all that stuff makes changes, and how many cars you get as well. So, it just depends. I feel like they try to run our races after each other, so they'll hot lap us, qualify us right after each other, so we don't have a whole lot of difference in our racetrack. So, it's hard. Like I said, every racetrack has its own, unique features. So it's cool to see the differences throughout the year.
The Outlaw Tours is such a grind. Sometimes you can get out there, you're having a great year, but some other drivers may not be having that good of a year. What do you do to make sure you don't get down on yourself and kind of get in a slump? Because I don't know if you make it home that much to sleep in your own bed, or if you're in the toter with the crew. What do you do to try to minimize getting down on yourself?
I think days like today are the perfect example. Disconnecting a bit from racing, it's easy to obsess over it because we really had a pretty shitty night there at Cannondale, starting 20th and running 10th. But, being able to play golf and spend time with your sponsors and my girlfriend and the race team and stuff. And, we're only racing 2 nights a week, so you get 5 more days to spend time with your guys. And we haven't been home since Florida. So been gone for about a month. Like I said, I get along great with my crew guys. My sponsors, like I said, open their houses to me. So having those people around you, it can get lonely out here for sure. But, if you have a good support group around you, it makes it a bit easier.
Before we let you go, what's the rest of the night look like for you before you guys head off to the Speedway, and give a shout out to your crew taking care of that 18 car?
Yep. Well, I'm actually sitting at Mark Braley's house, who's the manager and salesman at Show and Fill Headers. He just smoked some ribs. a pork butt, and we got a new sponsor this year, Bernie brand hot sauce. We're putting some hot sauce on it, so it's cool to, like I said, have a bit of a relaxing night here before a big weekend of racing.
That sounds awesome. Ribs?
Oh yeah, I'm so jealous right now.
You taking us out for?
We only burned one rack, so we got to throw one rack away. The other two are okay. We're gonna salvage those ones.
Oh hell yeah! Well, we can't wait to see you guys out here, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Don't be making fun of his cousin anymore.
I know, I won't.
They'll be there, so you'll be able to see him again.
Yeah, there you go. You get to redeem yourself.
All right. Well, thanks. We wish you nothing but luck and safe travels.
We really appreciate you calling into the show and talking to our fans for a little bit. I'll come and find you when you get here. You're gonna have your merch trailer here on the Midway with us.
Absolutely, we'll be there.
Perfect. That'll work, buddy. Thank you very much. Enjoy the night. Hope you have a good Friday night at Thunderbird, and buddy, we'll see you Saturday.
Definitely. Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a great night.
No worries. See ya.
I really didn't know I was going to be a part of that interview. To be fair, we didn't know when Gio was calling.
We had no idea.
We had no idea when Gio was calling, but he's a class act all the way around. So just happy to hear him. Just a cool dude. It's
going to be good. Like I said, coming from the drag racing world into the dirt world, and he had got a brother that's knocking it out of the park too. So I mean, two dominant forces.
I'd like to ask his pops, how do you like the dirt in the trailer? Because those drag racers cannot stand a dirty trailer, and I bet it just drives him crazy.
Well, I don't know them. Some of them outlaw trailers.
Oh, they're beautiful. They take good care of them, but still.
Too. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I that's all I had this evening. I think the show is yours.
You got another race coming up at another racetrack.
Can't wait. King of America. Just, I mean, I hear the footsteps already. I mean, why not start the biggest race at Humboldt Speedway for the first race of the year
with the biggest modified race in the country?
Yeah.
Because you're forever the king.
Yeah.
Or queen.
Yeah. No, we'd love to have that would be so cool.
Kelsey Foley could knock it out of the park. Shelby Stuckey could get in the 29 car and knock it out. So it's called King of America, but
we change it pretty quick.
We'll name it. We'll rename it real quick for you.
Yeah. We're looking forward to that as well. John and Ryan Whitworth and Ron and all the guys over at Humboldt have been working just as hard over there to get that place in order. We've had some real successful practices already over there this year on the Sundays that after the Saturdays we had here. So just really looking forward to it. Just get registered. Once again, register, please. Makes it so much easier. And just come out and let's have a great time this Saturday.
We've kind of been talking about everything going on with the tracks. That's a whole nother set of volunteer army over there that are taking care of that facility.
Yeah, it sure is. That's there's a few of I guess osmosis between you and Jeremy Heim and Mickey and of course John Allen, and when Katie and we get over there and maybe a few other guys, kind of Glenn gets over there every once in a while. Gene Hammond helps quite a bit, and those guys. But it's we just have our crew. We laugh and we talk about the volunteer army, but it's our family, and that's what it is. And we care for each one of these employees, and it's just fun. I think everyone loves it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What it comes down to.
I mean, it's we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna race 28 races here at 80.
Is that what it is? 28?
28. And I believe we're gonna put in 23 races over at Humboldt. So we're getting ready to get started on a pretty wild year. Not gonna take a Friday night off at Humboldt. We're gonna race. Once we start, we're not going to stop until we're done.
Yeah, we always end the season a little early over in Humboldt. We found out year one that football over there in those small communities is super important to those families, and getting the racers out there that have kids in school is very difficult. And so we just listened to the racers and said, you know what, it makes sense to us. We get it. And so we'd love to be able to extend that season sometimes here and there. And I know John's talked about having a special race maybe once or so late in the year over there. I'm not sure if we've got that together yet, but stay tuned for that. But I think it's all about the families over there as well.
And of course, we've been talking about a big show going to happen here at 81 with the World of Outlaws, but we can't forget about what happens over at Humboldt with Comp Cam series.
The Comp Cam series is going to be
Outlaw Midget series. I mean,
well, I'll just say this right now, and I'll probably get hit for this, but it's a better show on those Extreme Midgets over at Humboldt than it ever will be here.
Well, we talk about it. It's a very
It's
technical
made for
race
that.
over there. That's what that track's designed for, really.
Yeah.
And it's a absolute speed fest.
Oh, it's
You
crazy.
should get on T-Mez's YouTube.
I've seen it.
He has the deal, and he has
I
some
watched the
telemetry.
T-Mez videos, and I've
it's
watched him when he was
awesome.
here, and he was like, "What a crazy fast at 81
Yeah.
is what he said," and he loved Humboldt. So,
Yep.
yeah, T-Mez is crazy, and yeah, we love having him out, and hopefully he's on the tour with them again this year. So,
Yep. I picked up a win last weekend, I think,
okay,
at DeCoin.
heck yeah.
So, I mean, he's already hitting it, and hopefully we see him. Well,
I think that's it for me.
We can't thank you enough for everything
really.
you do for the racetracks. Even though you make fun of me all the time, I really do appreciate everything you do. We're getting ready to start Saturday night, and we're not going to stop until October.
Yeah. You know, we're just really, hopefully we're blessed with great weather, and we just hope the fans come out and have a great experience, and we're looking forward to it. And I honestly, you know, Andy, I do give you probably a pretty hard, maybe a harder time than most around here, because I know you can take it, but
Yeah.
We couldn't do this thing without Andy Clark and him being on the infield and doing this show. And he does so much behind the scenes for the drivers, and they'll probably never know. But I notice.
I try. I try.
Thank you, buddy.
See you, buddy. Have a great night. Appreciate you being in here. You going to take the trophy with you? You going to leave it? It can stay. All right. Get to look at it all night. Once again, we need to thank our sponsors here for Above the Cushion, the Automedic. 316-260-8352 over there, 3350 South Hydraulic in Wichita. Oil change, tires, brakes, alignments, general maintenance you need done to your either car to get you to the racetrack or your truck to get your trailer to the racetrack. Get over there and see our friends at the Automedic. Engine transmission replacement on a few cars. They are also a BG Products Center. If you're going to need some fuel additive, transmission additive, oil additive, any of your great BG products, get over there and see our friends at the Automedic. Of course, we always have to thank our friends at Uhlik Music. Get over there, 316-262-2840. 2160 East Douglas Avenue here in Wichita, right across from East High School. Get over there. If you're looking for, your guitar repair, you're looking for a new guitar, you need some equipment to do a podcast, a radio show, anything you need, go see our friends at Uhlik Music. And make sure any of the sponsors for 81 Speedway, Humboldt Speedway, FO Enterprises, make sure you let them know that the racetrack sent you. Another thing we got coming up for Saturday night, going to be Hammer Time here at 81 Speedway, presented by the Rusty Nail. I believe this weekend going to be from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. $2 hot dogs, $1 off beers at the Tyrod Tavern. And then, of course, your hot dogs over at Jack's Place Concession Stand. Need to thank our friends at the Rusty Nail for sponsoring Hammer Time right here at 81 Speedway. Need to go through our list of classes for our weekly championship point series. Of course, we're going to kick off a weekly championship points Saturday here at 81 Speedway with our TM Fencing LLC Super Stocks and our JLR Property Management 316 Modifieds. They are going to be here at 81 Speedway. They're going to start their championship campaign Saturday night, but also Alternative Pest Management. We need to thank them for taking care of our USRA Modifieds. We lost a sponsor for our USRA B mods, but Midwest Wrap, Ryan and Braylon over there decided to help us out and get the B mod sponsor. So all you B mod drivers, make sure you head over to Midwest Wrap Facebook page and give them a like. Make sure that you tag them in all your posts and thank them when you see them at the racetrack. Ryan and Braylon taking care of our USRA B modifieds for this year. We talked about TM Fencing LLC and the Super Stocks. All you Super Stock drivers need to get on Facebook, TM Fencing LLC. Make sure you give that Facebook page a like and tag them in all of your posts. Appreciate them for taking care of our Super Stocks here. If you need any sort of fencing done at your house, wood picket, wrought iron, anything like that, anything to keep your kids in the backyard, keep your dogs in the backyard, whatever you got, give our friends at TM Fencing a call. Allied Energy and Battery Incorporated, taking care of the stock cars here at 81 Speedway for the 2024 season. If you need any battery for your watch, your car, your race car, your hauler, anything you got, go over and see our friends at Allied Energy and Battery. Of course, Rage Jerky making a return for the mini stock and tuner division. We appreciate them. Of course, Rage Premium Beef Jerky made right up the road in Hutchinson, Kansas. You can find it at Jack's Place concession stand. All of you mini stock and tuner drivers, please make sure that you like the Rage Jerky Facebook page and tag them in your posts. We appreciate them being a part of FOE Enterprises and 81 Speedway. We need to thank our friends at O'Reilly Auto Parts for taking care of Victory Lane right here at 81 Speedway, and Wix Filters bumper to bumper auto parts scoreboard at 81 Speedway. Of course, we had Stu Pauls here on the show and talked to him about his involvement with the Speedway just a few weeks ago, and you can find that on our YouTube channel. Like I said, been talking to Braylon over at Midwest Rap, and she's trying to get that fixed up for me so we can get that promoted a little bit better. For our Humboldt Speedway racers, Army Contracting going to take care of the USRA Modifieds. We need all you USRA Modifieds over at Humboldt, please make sure that you like the Army Contracting Facebook page. Ray's Metal Depot making a return to take care of the USRA B mods at Humboldt Speedway. Appreciate Ray's Metal Depot. You got any scrap laying around your house, you got cans, aluminum cans you need to trade in so you can get some tickets, take it over there to our friends at Ray's Metal Depot. Extrusion Inc. taking care of our Midwest mods over at Humboldt Speedway. Appreciate Extrusions Inc. for always supporting dirt track racing. Home Savings Bank taking care of the Mid-America factory stocks over at Humboldt. We appreciate the great folks over at Home Savings Bank. You need to get anything taken care of, need to get a savings account, new checking account, loan for a new car, loan for a tractor, whatever you need, go ahead and see our friends at Home Savings Bank. Wilson Automotive and Fabrication. Our friends over at Wilson Automotive and Fabrication have been absolutely wonderful to us over at Humboldt Speedway, taking care of the Freedom 50 for the tuners, but this year going to step up and be the title sponsor for the mini stock and tuner division at Humboldt Speedway. So if you're needing any sort of automotive or fabrication work done, go see our friends at Wilson Automotive and Fabrication. Also, Pete's Convenience Stores taking care of Victory Lane over there at Humboldt Speedway. If you're not paying attention to Pete's convenience store post on Facebook, you are missing out. It's daily specials on all of the great products they have over there. Of course, what an absolute great company to work for as they post about all of their employees' birthdays every month. Great folks over at Pete's. I stop at the Iola store every night after the races on my way home, so always great to see friendly faces at Pete's convenience store. Race fans, it is almost race night in America here at 81 Speedway. Saturday night, going to kick it off with the World of Outlaws sprint car. We talked all about it at the beginning of the show with JR Sartain here, but just kind of want to recap what is going to go on. Pits going to open at 2 p.m. The grandstand gates are going to open at 5, and racing is going to start at 7 p.m. This will be streamed on Dirt Vision, so no racing dirt for the weekend here, as Dirt Vision takes care of all the streaming for the World of Outlaws. If you still want to buy advance tickets, MPV tickets, go ahead and go to the 81 Speedway, 81speedway.com. You can click on the details tab for Saturday nights. There is the link right there. I'm on the website right now looking at it. Advance tickets, reserve seating going to be $40, all ages. General admission, $35 for adults, $10 for 12 and under. On that, race day ticketing going to go up a little bit, so it's going to save you some money, save you some t-shirt money if you go ahead and get those advanced tickets. But race day ticketing, reserve tickets, $45 if they're left. I wouldn't count on a reserve ticket being left for Saturday night's World of Outlaws show here at 81 Speedway, but you can try your luck if you want to. General admission going to go up to $40 for adults, $10 ages 12 and under. Pit passes cannot be bought in advance because you have to sign a waiver. $45 to get into the pits here for Saturday night's World of Outlaws show. Of course, the famous pit side party spots right over off of turn 2 and down the backstretch. There only is 20 of these spots. They are primo spots. There will be a line for pit side party spots. Each of the spots is $50 plus your pit pass. $50, park your truck, car, whatever. You sit there in your truck, car, watch the race, $50 to get to a pit side party spot plus your $45 pit pass. Any of your other non-tow vehicles, you're not going to park in a party spot. You're going to park with your hauler, going to be $20 plus the cost of the pit pass. Typically on a Saturday night show, not going to charge for the non-tow vehicles, but because of the packed pits that are going to happen, $20 to have your car in there. Absolutely no outside food or drink, of course, bags subject to search. We talked about the event classes. There's been a few questions. Go over it one more time. The World of Outlaws 410 sprint cars will be in town for Saturday night. We hope you can make it. Of course, JLR Property Management 316 A mods and your TM Fencing LLC super stocks. Let's talk about JLR Property Management 316 mods again, just so we're clear. 0 points. No one is on the board for points. So every modified is legal to run. Now, once we run an alternative pest management USRA modified show and the points get set for your top 10, those top 10 are no longer eligible for 316 modified action unless you fall out of the top 10. It's going to be fluid through the year, but it's pretty much going to get set. Your top 5, once they get locked into USRA modified points, that's going to pretty much remain the same. But if you are outside of the top 10 in USRA modified points for alternative pest management, you may race the JLR Property Management 316 modified. So maybe the first couple shows you're inside the top 10 for alternative pest management, but then you fall outside the top 10, go ahead and get in there for JLR Property Management 316 modifieds. JR talked about it on the show just a little bit ago. For those of you going to race Saturday night for JLR Property Management 316 modifieds or TM Fencing LLC super stocks, you must be registered. If you are not registered and you walk up to the pit shack to get your pit pass to get into the show, you're going to go to the back of the line and you're going to have to wait for the girls to help you get registered. So please, tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday morning, we don't care. Before you get to the racetrack, please be registered. Now, JR made a good point earlier, and he makes very rare of those, so let's pay attention to it for a second. If you registered for JLR or for Alternative Pest Management USRA modified action and you want to race Saturday night in JLR Property 316, you have to register for JLR Property 316. Now, we talked about our friend Joel Hill. You need to just pull a Joel Hill. Register for them all. Late model, sprint car, all the modifieds, super stocks, mini stocks, just go ahead and get it all done because it's free. Absolutely free for you to register before race night. Now you get here and the girls got to help you register. It's going to be $20. The girls are very expensive. We have to take care of them. So it's going to be a $20 bill to get you registered on race night. Do it tonight. Do it tomorrow. Get signed up absolutely free for the registration. Now all your USRA cars that we're going to talk about that later in a couple weeks because you're going to have to be registered for USRA to be able to race in the sanction for the points. That is about it. We're about the hour mark. We got started a little bit early, so it's 6:30 right now. We got started. JR wanted to get started a little bit early, so we went ahead and took care of that. We've covered about everything. Parking. Want to talk about parking. It's mostly free. There is a little bit of paid parking, but it's going to be roped off. You're going to know. Should be no one charging you for parking here at 81 Speedway unless you're in the reserve spots, and those will be 100% marked up. You will know that you are in a paid spot. We're going to have a shuttle going, so if we need to park across Broadway like we did last year in the field, we'll get you shuttled over to the gate and get you into the show. We'll get you shuttled back to your car after the show to get you taken care of, so don't have to worry about that, about walking too far. It's going to be a packed house, folks, so you're going to want to get here. Try to get here early. I know some people work on Saturdays, and they're going to cut it close on the 5 o'clock, but you want to get here as early as you can to make sure that you're get your ticket in time, get everything to get set down, because once the Outlaws get started, it's a show. We will have to do some stuff for the broadcast for Dirt Vision, but that's going to be no big deal. Make sure you get here on time and get part of the show. Of course, the midway going to be absolutely full. We talked about it. Artichoke going to be here serving up sandwiches. Of course, Jack's Place concession stand going to be good to go. We hired a bunch of people a couple Saturdays ago, so we're going to be fully staffed up. Not going to run out of food. Beer trailer is going to be here. Going to be an absolutely great night with the World of Outlaws for opening night for championship points for our JLR Property Management 316 Modifieds and our TM Fencing LLC Super Stocks here at 81 Speedway, along with the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. Race fans, thank you very much for being part of the show. We had a great conversation, about 17 minutes worth of it, with Gio Scelzi as he's hanging out in Fort Smith, Arkansas, getting ready to go to Thunderbird Speedway tomorrow night, and then right here to 81 Speedway on Saturday. He is your current points leader going into this weekend. Hopefully he can hold on to that and make it, he can be the points leader coming into Saturday night. As you can see, got the trophy. We unpacked it out of the office a little bit before the show, got it set up. Good looking trophy right here. Man, it's pretty heavy. I need to go work out, obviously. Race fans, thank you very much. Appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in for tonight's show. We're going to see you Saturday. Like we said, I'm going to try to get here pretty early. We're going to start taking videos. We're going to do some instruction stuff on where to park, where your pit passes are at, where your tickets are at. We're going to go through the whole thing. Pay attention to the Facebook page. I will go live a few times. I'm going to try to do as much promoting as I can, get here a little bit early, normal than I'm used to, because JR likes to make fun of me a little bit. But I'm going to get here a little bit early and get all your information you need to know for world opening night with the World of Outlaws here at 81 Speedway. Thank you for being part of Humboldt Speedway, 81 Speedway, FOE Enterprises. We will see you guys Saturday night.